What's the most dangerous creature on the planet? That's easy. Without a doubt, it's the mosquito, which might seem a little innocuous, but through time, the diseases that mosquitoes carry have killed more people than all the world's wars put together. So, why is that? Malaria, dengue, West Nile virus, all the different viruses and bacteria that can be carried with the mosquitoes, which still kill 2 to 3 million people worldwide every year. We tend to see mosquito-borne illnesses more rarely in the United States than in other places of the world because we have ways to avoid that. But they typically like the warm months, so late spring through fall. They do well in heat and humidity. So the number one place in the United States to have a serious mosquito bite problem is Louisiana. I'm not saying stay away from Louisiana, but I'm saying we want to have some protective measures in place before we go outside. In the United States, we most often see issues with West Nile virus, which causes encephalitis, or we might see Zika virus. There can be outbreaks here and there about that. There are rare cases of malaria, but it's not our main concern. There's also Eastern equine encephalitis, Western equine encephalitis, and they go on and on. We don't have vaccines for these in humans, so our best bet is avoidance of mosquito bites altogether. How do we do that? Well, try to keep standing stagnant water places drained. Bird baths, ponds, tire swings, places that tend to collect water. That's where mosquitoes love to breed. So dump out that water and make sure it's not sitting still. Things that we can also do ourselves to protect are wear clothing that is treated with permethrin if you're going to be outside for very long. Try to avoid dawn and dusk hours because that's when the mosquitoes are most active. In addition, light colored clothing attracts fewer mosquitoes. Also, take bug spray. Some people don't like to use DEET, but it is the most effective one we have. Picaridin is also fairly effective. And then there are different oils that some people use, lemon oil, eucalyptus. You don't want to use these in children under 3, so try to keep them protected with mosquito netting or clothing, of course, if you're going to be outside. Also, mosquito netting if you're going to be camping. Try to keep your windows and doors shut so the critters can't get inside, but they're teeny tiny so they can get inside anyway. It is important to make sure we deny them a habitat as best we can. If you are going to be outside camping or doing any sort of outdoor activities where you think you might be bitten by mosquitoes and you're planning on using bug spray, you probably are also going to be using sunscreen. Make sure you put your sunscreen on first and then the bug spray on 10 to 15 minutes at least afterwards so that you can have the most effect out of both of them, but they can interact with each other. So make sure you reapply often and liberally.